best way, I believe, for us all to advance. Events such as this digital forum and the CTO are key to ensuring that as our economies and societies continue to digitalize and transform, that no one is left behind, just like Ntate said. The rich diversity and expertise across the Commonwealth enable us to learn from one another and share practical solutions and move forward together. I'd once again like to thank the Government of Lesotho for convening us here today, and I wish you all a productive and engaging event and days to come. Khotsopula Nala. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I'll now invite my last speaker on my list, Your Excellency, Secretary General of CTO, Bernadette Lewis. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and I stand on the established protocol for this event, but I recognize His Excellency the Prime Minister, Honorable Sam Matakane, Minister of Information, Communications, Science, Technology and Innovation, Tasi Murusi, and also members of the CTO Council. It is indeed both an honor and a privilege to be here in Lesotho for the Commonwealth Telecommunications Organization's 64th Council meeting and the Commonwealth Digital Roadshow. The Roadshow is the CTO's flagship initiative, an exercise in public awareness building and education to mark our 125th anniversary. And as you have heard, I think about 3 times through the morning, this Commonwealth Digital Roadshow is the first to be held on the African continent. And our anniversary represents far more than a celebration of longevity. It reflects 125 years of leadership, innovation, partnership in advancing telecommunications and digital technologies across the Commonwealth. It represents 125 years of adapting to change and 125 years of supporting technology-enabled development. Our 64th Council meeting will be a reflection of our journey thus far, and we will be deliberating and charting the path forward for the CTO in a rapidly changing digital and political landscape. Now, I just want to, in a few minutes, try to give you a bit of history concerning the CTO. It traces its origin back to a partnership of nations, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. And this group of nations in partnership established the Pacific Cable Board in 1901. And the goal was to lay a subsea telegraph cable linking the Pacific to Canada. And this feat of engineering completed the British Empire's global telegraph network and transformed how nations were being governed, how business was being conducted, how trade was being effective, how societies interacted. And from that time of the early copper cables carrying electrical signals began a remarkable 125-year journey of innovation. Wireless communications extended connectivity beyond those physical lines, made communications more personal. Radio and television broadcasts brought information to the masses. And with each changing, all of these changing, with each changing phase of telecommunication innovation, the world became more connected, more interdependent, and at the same time, a more complex place. In tandem with these changes, the Pacific Cable Board also evolved, transforming in function and form over time, reflecting the changes in the technology, the geopolitics, and governance. By the mid-20th century, as colonies moved towards independence, telecommunications ministers of the newly independent nations, recognizing the need for a new framework for cooperation, in 1967 established the Commonwealth Telecommunications Organization. And the technology continued to evolve with increasing rapidity. And then we had the internet, the beginnings of the digital age. Mobile communications cut the physical lines that tethered us to a single location. So as we moved about, we could continue communication. Personal computers placed immense computing power into the hands of ordinary citizens. Digitization and miniaturization and the convergence of information technology and telecommunications ushered us into this age, this digital age, and put the power of technology in the hands of very ordinary people. The Internet of Things and now artificial intelligence, these have transformed economies, governments, the nature of security, placing digital technologies at the center of national development. And through each of these stages, the CTO transformed to be relevant and effective in supporting its members, helping them to adopt digital technologies and the benefits and benefit from emerging technologies while strengthening their technical, regulatory, and institutional capacity. And in this era of digital transformation is not optional, it is an imperative. A nation's ability to participate meaningfully in the global economy, to protect its citizens, and to advance its development goals increasingly depends on its digital readiness. And we are hearing this morning of Lesotho's digital readiness. And that readiness, as we heard this morning, is no longer solely about infrastructure. It's about skills. It's about your society. It's about governance. It's about trust. It is about inclusion. And that is why gatherings such as this Commonwealth Digital Roadshow matter. Leaders who do not understand the potential of digital technologies, they risk being unable to safeguard national interests, shape emerging global rules, or engage effectively in a world where influence flows through networks as much as through institutions. So the CTO remains committed to supporting its members through this transformation to ensure that technological change deliver outcomes that are inclusive, secure, beneficial, and sustainable. The Commonwealth Digital Roadshow has been designed to inspire, educate, and help connect. It brings together government leaders, regulators, industry communities, and international partners to demonstrate how digital technologies can drive resilience, economic growth, and improve public services. Hosting this roadshow in Lesotho is particularly significant as Lesotho's geography, its geographic situation, it's landlocked, mountainous, characterized by widely dispersed rural communities. These present unique challenges, and yet these same conditions also illustrate the transformative potential of digital technologies for connecting remote communities, expanding access to services, strengthening resilience, and unlocking new economic opportunities. The Roadshow is a people-centered movement. It's focused on practical solutions, real-world impact, and inclusive innovation. It is about showing how digital tools can improve the lives of citizens, strengthen institutions, and empower societies. And we're very pleased to let you know that the design of the program of the Roadshow is in response to your national priorities. And it highlights how digital transformation can support inclusive development in the diverse contexts across the Commonwealth. And I would like to take a few moments at this time to express my sincere appreciation to the government and people of the Kingdom of Lesotho for their warm hospitality and steadfast partnership. I particularly wish to acknowledge the indefatigable Honorable Minister Murusi for inviting the CTO to convene the 64th Council meeting and also this Commonwealth Digital Roadshow in Lesotho. Many thanks to the Lesotho Communications Authority for its unwavering support of this program, to our development partners, including the Government of the United Kingdom, to the Ministry and the staff. It has been a tremendous experience, a great partnership. And as I close, I want to take a few moments for reflection. As we progress on this digital journey, I would like to offer a word of caution that as we pursue the goals of the digital nation, we must remain vigilant about the societal impacts of technology. We must protect citizens' personal, intellectual, digital, and physical assets, their privacy, their dignity, and their rights. We must ensure that in this era of hyperconnectivity, we do not become isolated from one another. In this age of communication, we have to ensure that we do not lose our ability to connect with our neighbors, with our fellow men, with our friends, with our children. In this information age, we have to make sure we don't lose the ability to discern truth. In this globalized digital world, we need to ensure that we do not lose our cultural identity, our individuality, or our humanity. Most importantly, in this technological age, we must ensure that we do not lose, we do not lose the souls of the people of Lesotho. Instead, we must harness the power of technology to instill values, deepen empathy, amplify our shared humanity, and build a future where connection, creativity, innovation, and truth flourish together. And with that, I would like to end again. Thank you all for your attention, and thank you for the privilege of being in Lesotho, the Mountain Kingdom. I thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, especially for the kind words. I have come to the end of my program. Before I hand over to Magius, I have two announcements. All you exhibitors, please proceed to Mayor Mutepane, Ulemetsemane Ditente. The second one is that I'll be delivering a presentation in the afternoon on driving meaningful and affordable connectivity in the afternoon, I think around 3 p.m. The presentation is very important. I'll just share with that the Prime Minister was still here, because he will not be around in the afternoon. This year, we are focusing on reducing the cost of telecommunication services across the board. We are reviewing the Communications Act. We will also be introducing other initiatives. I'll put things into perspective. When you look at the nominal prices for the cost of data in Lesotho compared to our counterparts in the SADC region, we have the lowest prices. But when you bring in other metrics, like gross national income, we are on the high side. The amount each household is paying for, say, 2 gig of data is very high in Lesotho when you compare them to the household income. So we are going to tackle that problem this year. And we are hoping you will review the taxes from the current 15% to where it was in 2019. It was 5%, and it was 16. Thank you, Ndate. I will hand over to Magius. But I understand that there was supposed to be a cultural activity. Yeah, but yes. Okay. We are supposed to have the cultural activity. About that, just to freshen up before. Oh, before. Yes, before May. Yes, it's when. They are not ready.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to backstop the PS on the protocol. I'll run through it very quickly just to close the gaps. Please allow me to pay my respects to His Majesty King Letsie III, the Right Honorable the Prime Minister, who is here with us today, Honorable Nzokwane Matekane, the Honorable President of the Senate, the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly here with us, His Lordship the Chief Justice, the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, His Lordship the President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Ministers here present, particularly Honorable Minister of Information and Communications, Honorable Ntati Morusi, Honorable Ministers of the CTO member states, Your Excellencies, Heads of Diplomatic Mission and International Organizations, particularly Her Excellency Martin Sobe, the British High Commissioner to Lesotho, the UNDP resident rep in the name of Ndade Taye today, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth Technical Organization, Ms. Bernadette Lewis. I pay my respects to honorable members of the Senate and principal chiefs, particularly the principal chief of Matsieng, honorable members of the National Assembly, the honorable members of the Prime Minister's Ministries of the National Assembly, the Ombudsman, principal secretaries, the senior private secretary to the Prime Minister and senior government officials, captains of business, heads of government enterprises, the board chair of the LCA, Dr. Lerato, and heads of regulatory authorities from the, who are members of the CTO, and the LCA chief executive and other chief executives. Heads of security agencies, the area chief, particularly the chief of Maseru Reserve, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Teboho Madisebo Mukela. I'm the government secretary, and I'm also a former member of the board of the Lesotho Communications Authority. That was from 2007 to 2015, it was about 8 years as a member of the LCA. And the last meeting of the CTO that I attended was in Luanda, Angola. I don't remember the year in particular, but I remember enjoying the debates and discussions in that meeting. As we wish the CTO a happy 125th anniversary, Mayor SG, we will be reflecting in this 60th council meeting of the organization on important matters of digital transformation. We will also have to remember the SDG 9 that says industry, innovation, and infrastructure be achieved by 2030. And as you reflect on the technical journey, perhaps you will still be talking about accessibility, affordability, consumer protection, which are key as we proceed with the journey. Like you rightfully said, the countries that embrace digital transformation today are building economies of tomorrow, but we start building with the foundations of today. So when I was still on the board, we realized that infrastructure, the enabling infrastructure was a problem. So we, in this country, we wanted to take advantage of the vast LEC, the Lesotho Electricity Corporation's vast infrastructure across the country. So we established for Honorable Minister of Communications, a small company called the LEC Communications for terrestrial infrastructure to link to the electricity infrastructure. So it was one of the interesting developments. It's still a small company that is growing, but if we are able to cover the whole country, and our country, the terrain is very challenging, we also need the satellites for the internet. So together, we thought if we couple the infrastructural developments, perhaps the advancements in technology and digital connectivity will be at play with full advantage in our country. We also have our National Strategic Development Plan that encourages us to build enabling infrastructure, particularly in ICT. So perhaps as you discussed today, like Ndade PS has said, we've got challenges. We will be consolidating on this and receiving experiences from other jurisdictions as the international debates should take us. I will be taking you on a very brief and concluding part of the formal opening, whereby we will have the remarks by the Honourable Minister and then the keynote address by the Right Honourable the Prime Minister. And then we will have the national anthem just to close the formal session, not to close the meeting. So we will also proceed for a group photo outside. Protocol will usher our dignitaries as arranged in that PS to go outside for the group photo, and then it will be the exhibition tour as a concluding activity. And then the program says it will be a lunch break, and subsequently we'll be proceeding with the formal program after lunch. May I humbly I understand we've got our entertainment ready now. Maybe before I request the Honourable Minister to be on stage, I will call the group to clear the air for us and the space and be entertained.
Awenda de manza gimbata la tani gina le dia basu tu gina le dia khale ge gina le yo gina le he abana baba su gimbata la tani au gina le yo gina le he abana baba su gimbata la manza gina le dibo gina le abana baba su Panza gina le dibo, gina le javana babasu. Gina le diakeleke, javana babasu. Gina le diakeleke, javana babasu. Hai famula, javana babasu. Abana baba sutu, hai kamula, abana baba sutu, divana gayona, abana baba sutu, amasu asire, abana baba sutu. Panza gina le dibo, gina le javana baba sutu. Panza gina le dibo, gina le javana baba sutu. Hey 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 hey, javana baba sutu. Hey 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 hey, javana baba sutu. bele ke ditla le ka se go di sa ba lo ke ma hot o di le magata ma go sama ba ngwe ke tsa manje di le so o di le magata mala tsenzu se so to di se khung esa sa mo sa ba undu se maheta le phasa tsena na le se khwaba le go mtse ne tsa tule tse tudi ile una ni e tsa e phana e ka tema na ka ma bua di ona na puta kwese ba dinna ja monna wa mo se bua ne le tselo mo be mo sangana le su di khosi o twa bua na ga ma se so ke so ke pia se ka mbolo gapo isa ba ga tega ka ma hete ngwana mo mo isi ntwa ka mantsa tsela ga le ga ha mo batho ba ba go nna nna aya tshosa managage ke go lebale mara le mogodu o lebale tename le tsheditsa papa sa re ka bone ga ga swana papa mabele le motho wa goseng ta feta disobana ka moga ga feta magolo
That's Basotho, delivering their hospitality. I can try just a little to let the guests know. The first song and the second, the middle one was quite complex. I'll just say it's Basotho poems in singing. But the first one, you were saying, Mansa is a morning star. His name is Mansa. So he's a morning star. He shines for the nation. And the last one, that's why we are happy, especially the ladies. Ululations, please. Thank you so much. It says, lean on me, my baby. I'm taking you to the airport. We are boarding a plane. So you can imagine the excitement when you are being taken out. Eh? That's exactly what it means. Thank you very much, Ndade Mansa. Please give him a huge round of applause. At this juncture, please allow me to now call upon stage the Honorable Minister of Communications, Honorable Ntati Morris. Government Secretary, we can all feel that the temperature of the room has gone up a bit. Thanks to you, Ndade Mansa, for breaking the ice. Allow me, Bomel Bondate, to pay my respects to His Majesty King Lizzie III, the Right Honorable the Prime Minister, Ndate wa rona Ndate Ntsukwane Matekane, the President of the Senate, the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly. This is a national joke. So because every time we mention his name, you'll see all of us laughing. It's because most of us always forget the Right Honorable. We just say the Honorable, and then we'll stop you and say, Right Honorable, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Ndate Shamane. Thank you for coming, Ndate. His Lordship, the Chief Justice, the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers here present, the Honorable Minister of Communications, Information Technology of the Independent State of Samoa, Honorable Gasiata Peto, who will be joining us later, who is also the current chairperson of CTO Council, and all council members, excellencies, good morning to all of you. Your Excellency, the Secretary General of CTO, Ms. Bernadette Lewis, Excellencies, heads of diplomatic mission and international organizations, in particular the British High Commissioner in Maseru, the European Union, the United Nations, and all the other UN agencies present with us this morning. Honorable members of the Senate and principal chiefs, honorable members of the National Assembly, the government secretary, government officials, I've seen you, Mayor Ombudsman, the principal secretary, the principal secretaries, but in particular the principal secretary of the Ministry of Communications, the board chair to Communications Authority, Dr. Lerato, and the Ntate Gulam and your team, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, and the media houses here present. Dumelang. Good morning. It is quite an honor for me to live the reality of a day where we raised our hand in a room full of countries to say that Lesotho is ready to host CTO. And for us to live that reality today, and for me to be welcoming all of you, it is quite an honor, and welcome to Lesotho this morning. As the Minister responsible for communications, science, technology, and innovation, and as the previous speakers have said, I carry the mandate to ensure that Lesotho's digital future is shaped by a deliberate national policy, not by the default outcomes of inaction or deferred decision-making. Inaction or deferred decision-making. That mandate has driven the policy program, which I wish to outline to you this morning. Our first anchor is a policy of inclusion, and that is by design. Lesotho's digital transformation agenda is grounded in a fundamental policy choice that inclusion is not a secondary consideration to be addressed after infrastructure is built, but a design requirement embedded from the start. This choice has shaped everything, from the architecture of our digital public infrastructure to the focus areas of our Universal Service Fund. Guided by this principle, the government has directed the Lesotho Communications Authority to accelerate the construction of connectivity infrastructure in our most underserved communities. More than 100 base stations have been erected to date under this program, extending meaningful connectivity to approximately 300,000 Basotho who previously had none. When I say 100, please don't mistake it to mean that we only have 100 base tower stations in Lesotho. We have more, but under Universal Service Fund, it's 100. And then we have other projects that are building more. Active deployments continue in Kuting, Kalabane, and Matsaile. And Matsaile is highlighted because it is one of those that the Right Honorable Prime Minister is very passionate about, because he felt like the community of Matsaile was completely excluded. One day he was visiting the community and he couldn't communicate to anyone. And then from that day on, we couldn't sleep because we had to deliver a tower there. So we are excited that the construction is almost starting that day, Prime Minister. Our policy position is clear. Geographic isolation is not a justification for exclusion from the digital economy. We govern the digital foundation. Every service, every system, every digital interaction in a modern state depends on foundational infrastructure that most citizens never see. It is the responsibility of government to build that foundation correctly. Our digital public infrastructure policy provides the framework for this: a national digital identity system, a data exchange layer that enables government agencies to share information securely and with citizens' consent, and digital payment rails that connect Basotho to economic opportunity. These are not commercial products, they are public utilities, and they will be governed as such. In developing these systems, the ministry has made deliberate policy decisions that deserve to be stated plainly. First, we will not allow Lesotho's foundational digital infrastructure to be owned or controlled by private entities whose commercial interests may diverge from the public good. Second, our systems will be built on open standards, ensuring interoperability and preventing lock-in to any single vendor or platform. Third,
Child safety is a non-negotiable design constraint. Our DPI for Children framework, developed by UNICEF, embeds child protection principles to the architecture itself, not as a layer added afterwards. Our other principle is the digital government. The citizen's perspective is very important. Policy is ultimately judged by its effect on the lives of ordinary people. The government's e-service platform translates our digital government policy into a tangible reality. A Mosotho in any part of this country can now renew their identity document, process a driver's license application, register a vehicle, or enroll in a farmer's support program without traveling to a government office and without waiting on long queues. Payment is by mobile money or bank card, reflecting payment realities of our population. Home Affairs passport renewal is live. Passport applications are being added in the very near future. The platform's architecture is designed to grow with demand, and this ministry has issued a directive to all government departments to audit their service catalogs and develop digital service roadmaps for integration with the national platform. Another principle is the building Lesotho's digital capability. Connectivity and services are necessary, but Lesotho must also build domestic capability to own its digital future. This means investing in people, in institutions, and in infrastructure of knowledge. Our high-performance computing upgrade, supported by the Republic of India and UNDP, is a deliberate investment in sovereign compute capacity. It means that Lesotho's researchers and AI developers are not entirely dependent on international infrastructure for their work. As the PS said this morning, our Lesotho Language Data Initiative, developed with UNDP and the National University of Lesotho, is a deliberate investment in linguistic sovereignty. An AI in agriculture extension service that cannot speak to a farmer in Sesotho is not serving the farmer. We are building the data sets that will change that, beginning with agriculture and expanding to other domains. Our digital government frameworks, interoperability, enterprise architecture, digital government, and the Government Security Operations Center, which held its stakeholder workshop this week, represent Lesotho's investment in institutional capability, the rules, the standards, and oversight mechanisms without which digital systems cannot function safely and sustainably. And our engagement with Estonia, which we did recently, and the European Union on the X-Road interoperability model represents a policy decision to learn from the most advanced digital government implementations in the world and to adapt these lessons to Lesotho's context. As I conclude, I would like to extend a personal invitation to you, the Prime Minister, and to every delegate in the room, and to every member of the public attending this forum, to please visit our exhibition stands outside. You will find 2 live systems awaiting your engagement: a digital identity and verifiable credentials demonstration, and e-service platform. These are not mock-ups or presentations. They are working systems. What we experience at those stands today represents the outcome of policy decisions made by this government, implemented by the teams of the Ministry of Communications, LCA, and our development partners. I invite you to test them, interrogate them, and tell us where we need to improve. That is the spirit in which this forum has been conceived, not to present a finished product, but to demonstrate honest progress and invite rigorous engagement. Before I step down, I would like to thank everybody who has made this forum a success. The CTO itself, the Lesotho Communications Authority, my team at the Ministry of Communications, and all the other partners who have contributed to making this day a reality. Ke lebohile haholo. Thank you very much. Kgotso, Pula Nala, Masayida. Thank you.
A round of applause for the Honourable Minister. Thank you very much. It makes us feel very proud for the ladies to be in the lead, particularly driving technology, because we know now we won't be gathering firewood anymore, because the technologies will be at play. Another round of applause, please. Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. She has also inspired us in Cabinet. I'm also the Secretary to Cabinet. Now we are progressing to running e-Cabinet. I no longer distribute the physical packages. I do it on email. So we are also building a system for the Honourable Minister so that, as she said, the digital government is very important. So we will be able to help Cabinet to lead from the front to take us to e-services. At this juncture, may I humbly now request you to rise and request the Honourable Prime Minister to deliver his keynote address.
Ke a leboha mme GS le nna ka mokgwa o tshwanang ntumella ke ise hlompho ya ka o motlotledi le tsiye la boraro ho na le lentswe mona le ho thweng ke honourable ke so fihle mo hana jwale e nngwe ya ditjhere tsa ka e sa le sekolong mane wa re ho nna monna ba ne ba re ba nhlompha kae kae motho yona itse ha go honorable a ba go horrible jwale ditaba tsena di batla o di atamele ka bohlale o ska ba ditate jwale le nna ka mokgwa o tshwanang ke tla batla ke tsamaya butlenyana hobane jwale ke se ke le hlokolosi ke a leboha hlomphehi. The Right Honourable President of the Senate, Right Honourable Speaker of the National Assembly, His Lordship the Chief Justice, Honourable Deputy Prime Minister, Honourable Ministers here present, in particular Minister Ntati Morosi, responsible for communication, science, technology and innovation, Excellencies, heads of diplomatic, mission and international organizations, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth Telecommunication Organizations, Ms. Bernadette Lewis and your team, you are welcome. Senior government officials, media houses here present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It looks like we all going to greet you today. Let me start by welcoming our guest to the beautiful mountain kingdom of Lesotho. I'm happy you got a chance, the beauty of our country, and enjoy our culture as well as our local food and people. I hope you have already tried that. Yeah. I was just wondering when I was talking to you this morning about your visit to Smonkong, whether you tried the local food. Okay. Did you try our beer? Please, next time when you go, maybe to my place this time, which is Tabateka, I'll make sure that you try that. It's one of the most. And I will make sure I'm there to welcome you, and we do it together. Okay. All right. We pride ourselves in who we are as a nation, and we always make it a point to show it off to our guests. I wish to warmly acknowledge and recognize the important work of the Commonwealth Telecommunication Organization over its 125-year history in advancing telecommunication, digital inclusion, and connectivity across the Commonwealth. Your leadership, Madam Secretary, continues to drive meaningful progress in this critical sector. Since assuming office, my government has demonstrated strong commitment to the Commonwealth Telecommunication Organization. This is evidenced by historic participation of the Minister of Communications, Science, Technology and Innovation of Lesotho in CTO engagement in 2023. The first such ministerial level presence from Lesotho in recent years. We also applaud the fact that Lesotho is the first country in Africa to host the CTO's roadshow. We thank you for bringing it home, Madam Secretary. Lesotho is very grateful for the CTO's continued assistance in building capacity of our institutions and personnel in the ICT sector over the years. This support has been instrumental in strengthening Lesotho's digital infrastructure and policy framework. As we accelerate our digital transformation agenda, we seek deeper collaboration and support from the CTO, particularly in the areas of cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. Targeted capacity building programs in these domains would greatly enhance our ability to protect our digital ecosystem and harness emerging technologies for national development. Development technologies advanced shall be our pillar in the following areas, among others: youth employment, efficient service delivery. It will help us create an enabling environment for business development. It will help us navigate geopolitics that sometimes hinder international transacting, as it is the case lately. In closing, allow me to thank you sincerely, Madam Secretary General, for choosing Lesotho to host the 64th CTO Council meeting in the Commonwealth Digital Roadshow in this year. On behalf of the government and the people of the Kingdom of Lesotho, I extend my warmest and formal welcome to you and your delegation. We are truly honored to host this prestigious gathering and look forward to a successful and productive event. Bomme le bontate, re di utlwile ditaba tsa rona tsa letsatsi la kajeno ha re di fuwa ke mme letona. Mme letona, ha ke re wa tseba hore tjhaba sa bo rona ha se na letho. The cost, whatever it will cost, has to be reasonable. And it must be done timelessly. Nako tsane tsa go no to re emele ntho beke tse pedi kgwedi tse tsheletseng. It's now over. Ha ke kena mono ka founu ena ka e bohlale o tla bompile yona. Ha ke kena ke type mono ke re ke batla passport. I want that passport within 6 hours. Yeah. Other countries are already doing it. Why can't we? Yeah, it's doable. Rwanda is already doing it. I've seen it. So why can't we do it? Why should we be told at all times to wait forever? That time is over. And the other thing is, it has to be reasonable in cost, or maybe even more than reasonable, so that each and everyone can afford it. The other thing is, we have been made aware, or only certain types of phones can be used to access this. Maybe you have to talk to maybe Vodacom, Econet, and those service providers to get us those kind of phones so that they can be able to distribute them throughout the country, so that each one of us can be able to access without any problems. How do you telephone us in the ha ke ne ke tšhaketse ka dithabeng ka kwana ke ile ka tsamaya dibakeng tse mmalwa where service delivery was most needed. And those places, I understand, and the PS started mentioning Matsaile. It's not only Matsaile. I mentioned more than 5 areas to you. I was hoping that you mention all those places that I mentioned to you, that it's of real need. If I may remind you, so that you can take it forward after this, the places that I mentioned to you was Matsaile, Tlading, Leseding, Hlwahlweng, and others, where the services haven't reached them. They all deserve, and it is their right to be provided with the services as well, the entire country. So these are just reminders that the country needs services. So, with these few words, I just want to close by saying with these few words, I declare this meeting officially opened. I thank you.
Thank you. We may be seated. Thank you very much, the Right Honorable the Prime Minister. The youth of this country are very fortunate. They have a Prime Minister who loves them so much. They are at heart. He talks youth unemployment, and he declared youth unemployment as a disaster in this country. So we are working very hard on this. As you are deliberating this week, please talk about strategies of youth unemployment in a digitized economy. We need to get some of these strategies to move our youth into creating industries, bringing innovation in our economy. So this is a very serious matter that he has articulated in his remarks. And as a cabinet secretary, I had 3 directives, that APS. I'll whisper this to you to remind you every time: deliver passports in 6 hours at reasonable costs. Talk to service providers to get the nation's smartphones to be able to access services. And the last one, ensure those hard-to-reach areas are covered. I'll bring you the 5th area. I had Matsaile, Tlading, Liseding, Hlwahlweng, and that last one, you'll be sure to get it. So let us brace ourselves for the journey that has also begun for us in digital transformation. The policies are there. The legal framework is there, but now the Prime Minister wants tangible delivery. So we have to go there. Thank you very much. A huge round of applause and ululation, ladies, for the Prime Minister. Thank you so much. Thank you. And one last one too, a big one. I didn't hear that one well. Thank you. We have been directed. We should toe the line. Thank you very much. We are now in that last part of the program whereby we will sing the national anthem just to close the formal opening ceremony. Take the group photo that appears as arranged. I want to understand it will be the Right Honorable the Prime Ministers, their excellencies, maybe up to the level of permanent secretaries, and our guests, the council and members of council, and our regulators. This is your memory for the coming years as you reflect on Lesotho. May I humbly request your excellencies and our distinguished guests to rise for the singing of the national anthem. Protocol will help us usher our dignitaries to the front of the building for the group photo. hearts, peace, brain, and prosperity. Thank you very much. Protocol, kindly assist our dignitaries to, I don't know if there are other announcements that appears for lunch, but maybe you will take care of those. Thank you very much.
Paukwa pakawa, umesaidia vipi wenzako hawa? Nawia sahani ya mchele